I've gone 37 years without ever experiencing what it's like to be loved by a woman that's not related to me. 37 years with no affection, no attention from women, nothing. And yes, that means I have never been intimate with a woman. I'm literally only a few years away from being the 40-year-old virgin. And it's not by choice. If that wasn't already obvious, this is not a choice. I don't want to be all alone every single night, rapidly approaching 40 years of age, not even knowing what it feels like to have a woman care whether I live or die. I don't want to have nothing else to do other than sit alone in front of my computer every single holiday, watching slop YouTube videos while my teardrops fall all over whatever slop food I'm shoveling down my throat, trying to forget how fucked up my life is. I don't want that. Nobody would want to live life this way. So, if you are a young man listening to this and you don't want to end up middle-aged and fully alone like how I ended up, then please listen to what I have to say. Truthfully, a lot of men really just don't have any chance these days with how screwed up the dating market is, but some of you can make it. I probably could have made it. I know I could have. So please pay attention and try not to make the same mistakes I made. And for those of you that actually can't make it, those of you that are destined to live a life of solitude similar to myself, I have an important message for you too. Seriously, I think it's important what I have to say, and a lot of you will be better off for having heard it. Believe it or not, I'm pretty much just a normal guy. I might be on the autism spectrum. I mean, I definitely have some kind of unusual interests, but for the most part, I'm just a normal guy. I want all the same things other normal guys want. I want to get married. I want to start a family. I want to do something meaningful with my life. I guess I am kinda trying to do that with this channel. If nothing else, maybe I can help other guys in a similar position cope by knowing they're not alone. This channel is easily the most successful thing I've ever done. I know it's not a big channel, and it's not like I'm actually making a living doing this, but still, I have thousands of people watching every video, listening to what I have to say, so I do feel good about what I've managed to achieve here. So the reason I'm saying this is, this recent success has given me a bit of a new perspective. Maybe I'm just having a manic episode right now, but looking back on my life, I feel like I've actually learned a lot. I failed a lot. I've had a lot of brutally disappointing moments, but through all that, I learned a lot of hard lessons. And I think now I have a solid understanding of why I never managed to get any attention from women. So first of all, when I was younger, from about 16, 17, 18, something like that, I actually was kind of good looking. And I did have a few times where if I had been able to capitalize on the situation, then I probably wouldn't be in this position right now. I am well aware of the fact that a lot of you have never been good looking at any point in your life, but what I'm saying here should still be relevant. I promise there is a point I'm getting at. Okay, so with me, I had that very brief period for just 2, maybe 3 years where I did actually have the potential to attract women, or attract girls, I guess. But anytime I had an opening, I was just never able to realize it because I was still stuck in the mindset of an ugly kid. Because before that, for my whole life, I wasn't good looking. I was not a cute kid. And I didn't even realize I had a glow up until it was too late. That very brief period of time came and went like the snap of a finger. And before I knew it, I was visibly going bald. And that pretty much ruined it for me. Some guys can still do okay being bald, but I'm not one of them. I have a weird shaped head. My cranium circumference is actually very small, bottom 3 percentile for my height. So for me, my hair was essential. And also, I went bald early. It was noticeable by the time I was 20, probably even by the time I was 19. So, yeah, there was a brief moment of time where things opened up for me and I had some opportunity, but it didn't last long. So, the lesson here, the wisdom I would like to impart on you all is after the age of, say, 21 or 22, somewhere in the early 20s for most guys, your looks are only going to decline. Now, when I say that, that is assuming you've already done all the basic looks maxing, lifting weights, making sure you're not fat, making sure you're dressing decently well. If you're already doing all that by the time you're in your late teens or early 20s, then just know it all goes downhill from there. Some guys can maintain their looks into their 30s or even older, but for most men, your physical appearance is just going to continually get worse over time. And it starts sometime after your very early 20s. And you are going to have less and less opportunities as time goes on. So if you ever are going to really try to put yourself out there and give it your best shot and try your luck socializing, trying to talk to some baddies, or even trying the dating apps, do all that while you're still young. If you're ever going to have a chance for any of that to work for you, it's probably going to be when you're in your late teens to early 20s. Because also, it gets more difficult after that because most women get married by the time they're in their 30s, especially the best women. The women you would actually want to be with are all getting snatched up and locked down when they're still young. Okay, so for all of you that have been ugly your entire life, and maybe you currently are in your late teens or your early 20s, and you know you're ugly enough that none of that stuff's going to work for you, here's what I have to say to you. It sucks to hear this, but it's not going to get any better. And I'm not telling you that to say you should give up entirely. Life can still be worth living, but if you're already not fat, and you have a decent haircut, and you got cool clothes, and you're still invisible to women, you need to come to terms with the fact that it's not going to get any better. So you might as well try right now, if you're ever going to try. Okay? Give it your best effort to looks max. Improve your looks. Try to meet girls through your friend group if you have friends. Or just try to make some friends if you don't have a social circle. You might as well try. I never really gave it an honest effort until it was already too late for me. But if I had given it that same effort when I was 17, then I probably would have had some success. Now, who knows? Maybe I'd still ultimately end up in the same place, but maybe that success would have snowballed. Maybe that would have changed the whole trajectory of my life. But I didn't even realize how good I had it back then, so I always just thought, there's no reason to even try. I'll have time to do that later. But I was wrong. Okay, so I'm not saying go out and do 1,000 cold approaches every day. That's a waste of time. And I'm not really the guy to come to for dating advice per se, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do anything, do it while you're still young. Also, if you have a family history of baldness, then do what you got to do to keep your hair. Going bald early is a death sentence for your social life. Girls in their early 20s are not going to want to have anything to do with you if you are visibly balding. So get that taken care of. That was a mistake I made. I never really looked into all the solutions because I was afraid of side effects, and I figured, when I'm older, it's not going to matter anyways because balding is normal enough. Most women won't care. But that's completely not true. Okay, I was 100% wrong about that. Virtually all women do care about a man being bald and they don't like it. So for most men, going bald is extremely detrimental to your looks. You need to prevent hair loss at all costs. Okay, so that's my first piece of advice. Do not wait till you're older to actually try to attract women. Your opportunities only diminish as you age. The next lesson I learned through a lifetime of being invisible to women is if you're not going to ever be able to attract a woman and you're not going to ever be able to start a family, you have to figure out a healthy way to cope. And you might as well try doing things your way if society isn't letting you do things the right way. It's hardwired into our DNA to crave physical intimacy with women, and it's hardwired into our freaking monkey primate brains that the highest calling in life is to start a family and provide for your family and bring up the next generation of your offspring. It's impossible to not desire those things. Every man wants those things, whether you admit it or not. So if you're not going to get those things, you need to try to set things up for yourself so your life can at least be comfortable. And hopefully you can make your life actually enjoyable. I do think that is possible. So let me elaborate a bit on what exactly I'm talking about. Throughout my mid to late 20s and on into my early 30s, I busted my ass trying to do everything I could to make a lot of money, get really jacked, and just, I was trying my best to build a good life for myself. But I wasn't seeing very good results. I had a decent job for a few years, but that didn't last forever. And ever since then, I have not been able to find a job. I got a master's degree in computer science, and I applied to hundreds of jobs, and no luck. But now, things are finally starting to look up for me. I have this semi-successful YouTube channel that actually earns me some money. So technically, I'm not unemployed anymore. I'm a small business owner or a self-proprietor or whatever. And I'm actually earning money online, which is what I've always wanted to do. Even as a child, I always wanted to run my own business. And now I'm doing that. I'm not making a killing. I'm not even making enough to move out of my mom's house. But I am making enough money to keep my parents happy. And it's enough that I can put away a little bit for retirement. Honestly, my life right now is going better than it has in a long, long time. And that's because I finally gave up on trying to do things the right way. I gave up trying to find a job. I gave up thinking I would ever be able to get a woman to sleep with me. I just gave up. And I started to spend my time doing nothing except what the hell I want to do, which is obsess over this YouTube channel. And it's actually paying off. And this is years in the making, by the way. This isn't my first YouTube channel, although plenty of people have had more success than me in a shorter amount of time. But here's the point I'm getting to. For men like me that are locked out of dating, struggling to get hired anywhere, just locked out of living a regular life, pretty much. For men in this position where we don't get treated very well by society, why the hell should a guy like me keep trying to play by the rules? Fuck that. Following the rules never worked for me. And even if it had, that would just mean right now I would be waking up to an alarm every day, bright and early, 6 in the morning, just to go sit in traffic for half an hour before going to rot my life away in some cubicle. Rinse and repeat, 40 to 50 hours a week. Then maybe I could come home to some fat wife that resents me and doesn't even want me to touch her. The life that I have built for myself now by not following the rules, because I gave up on that, this is better. I think this is better. I do feel like my life has some purpose now. I never felt like that until recently. But now I feel like I have a reason to live. I feel like I'm actually doing something that matters. And this isn't just all about this channel. For those that don't know, I have a nearly 2-year-old baby cousin that I take care of most days. I'm basically his father figure. But if I had to work full-time as an employee somewhere, then I wouldn't be able to be there for him. But with what I have built for myself, I get to devote most of my time to him, and I'm still able to work on videos and everything at the same time. Because I actually do a lot of my brainstorming and mapping out videos on my phone while I'm holding him while he takes a nap. So it just all works out perfectly. But I don't want to stray too far from the topic at hand. What I'm trying to say is, I know it's cliche, but literally, follow your dreams. Society rejects us. Women reject us. Employers reject us. Screw them. It's going to piss a lot of people off, assuming you have some family members or anybody that cares about you, which maybe you don't, but that's just another reason to hold your middle fingers up to this messed up society and do what you actually want to do. Now, I will say, quick caveat, I am not telling you to just watch adult videos and play video games all day. What I'm saying is, forget about pursuing financial success through traditional means. That is increasingly not even realistic for a lot of us. I know in my case, I have the credentials, I have 2 STEM degrees, but nobody wants to give me a chance anyways. So if you have something that you really enjoy doing, something you want to do, that is something that somebody somewhere makes a living doing, then do that. Don't try to be a freaking certified CPA specializing in corporate tax structures just because you've always been told that's a safe path forward. Because it's not. Especially if you are an excess male that has been cast aside by society for your entire life. Honestly, look, call me crazy, unhinged, whatever, retarded. Yeah, maybe I'm retarded. I don't care. But listen, if you get no play from women, if women always seem to be repulsed by you, then you're probably going to struggle just as bad to get hired at any company. That's been my experience. So don't try to get hired. Try to make YouTube videos. Start your own paid community online teaching people how to play guitar, or try to make your own comic books. I don't know. It could be anything. If somebody somewhere makes money doing it, then you might be able to as well. And that's going to be better for you in the long run, even if it's not quite as profitable as being an accountant or a civil engineer or whatever. And if you do just fail miserably, then, what was the trade-off? What did you really lose? I'm telling you, trust me, you might think if you get a good, stable corporate job, then you'll finally be able to get a woman to agree to get under the covers with you. But that's not true. That's just not how it works these days. If you're not getting any attention from women in your early 20s or your late teens, and you have actually tried, then believe me when I tell you that having a quote-unquote good job is not going to even move the needle. It will make no difference whatsoever on how many women want to get with you. And I can tell you from experience, having had that good paying job, I used to work as an engineer, by the way. I was making what is currently about $90,000 a year if you adjust for inflation. That didn't make my life any better. I got zero attention and zero affection from women then, just like I get now. But now I get to spend my time building my own legacy, doing something that I actually enjoy doing, something that I feel is actually worthwhile. And I don't have to wake up to an alarm. I'm still not getting any love from the ladies, but I never got any love from the ladies back when I was busting my ass, going to college, making good grades, and trying my best to be a good engineer. So screw it. I'm not doing things by the books anymore. I'm doing it my way. So that's my message to you. If you are like me and you never had any success with women and just people in general don't treat you with respect, just stop trying to appease these people. Set your life up in a way that is more comfortable for you. I know obviously most of you got bills to pay, so you have to work. You can't just start making money off something you're passionate about immediately. And maybe you don't have anything like that. Maybe you don't have any creative hobbies or anything. That's fine. That's normal. But think about if it's actually worth it to spend years of your life getting a college degree or spending hours upon hours of your free time prepping for interviews just to hopefully be able to make more money later on, working for someone else, rotting your life away, when maybe your life would actually be better if you just worked part-time at a grocery store or some other low-stress job like that might not pay worth a shit, but maybe your overall quality of life would still be better. Fellas, listen, I'm old, okay? I'm unk status. I know I probably still got a lot of life left. It's not like I'm elderly, but it doesn't feel like I got that much time left. I know it's cliche, but life is short. It really is. And when you get to my age, you will realize that. Stop trying to be normal and fit in with this broken society when you can't even get a single woman to give you the time of day. It's not worth it. It is literally a better use of your time to pursue your dreams. I'm not even joking. Try to make money on the internet. Try to not enter into a lifetime of wage slavery. The only reason I could see where that would actually be worth it, the wage slave life, would be if it actually made women care about me. Because I am a man, okay? When I see a woman walking by and she's looking good, I can tell that there are things she could do that would drastically improve my quality of life, even if only for 37 seconds. I've lived 37 years, and sometimes I think a good 37 seconds would make it all worth it. But the only thing that really matters these days is looks, as far as attracting women. If you're not good looking as a man, which you probably know from your life experience, then no amount of effort is going to get you that special 37 seconds that's going to make it all worth it. Society rejects you. Women reject you. So reject them back. Ignore what they tell you to do and just do things your way. If I had started just focusing solely on YouTube like I always wanted to do, if I had started 10 years ago, I probably would actually be making, at least twice as much as I'm making now, and that would actually be a living. Hopefully, I will be able to get to that point eventually. It's definitely possible, but even if I am hard capped at this level, this is still better than being a corporate cuck. Good luck out there, men. I know this all might seem overly optimistic to some of you, the whole follow your dreams thing, but I hope you at least really think about what I'm saying and consider it. As far as I know, we each only got one life to live. And if we're gonna have to be deprived of certain basic human needs, then we should at least be trying to live life on our own terms as best as we can. If anything I said here resonates with you, or if it made you think, please check out some of my other videos. There's some secret videos you can watch for free on my Patreon. No sign up required, so check that out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.